Everyone has gone through phases, sometimes cringy, sometimes completely normal, like a sports phase or a car phase or an emo music phase. We all have phases. A popular one among the youngsters these days is quote unquote the weeb phase. Some of us go through a phase of absolutely loving anime. Of course, I, being the weird horse dog girl already, madly fell in love with anime. The first one I ever watched was actually a bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! But as a 8-9-year-old who just wanted to get to the Sonic showing the next hour, I didn't much care for it. I never got into it like that, but I didn't hate it. But I would have preferred to be watching Sonic. The one I got into the most was the next anime they played on this TV station called 4Kids. I'm sure some of you remember it if you're old like me and didn't have cable. I absolutely fell for DBZ. Hands down, still one of my favorite animes of all time. I don't know why it captured me so much, but when I watched it, I just knew I had to have more. So every morning I'd get up extra early before the Sonic episode I'd seen 8 times was on and watch whatever episode of Dragon Ball Z was on. The channel was weird and sometimes they didn't play the episodes in order. They usually did, but occasionally I'd be really confused by the addition or subtraction of a new character. But regardless, I loved that show so much. I drew a lot of DBZ fan art and even made an OC. Unfortunately, she was named Kuroyoi. Cringy, I know. I literally googled Japanese names and stole the edgiest words from the website. I'm pretty sure Kuroyoi means black evil, aka darkness. At least that's what the website from 2011 told me. I'm pretty sure that's not the actual meaning of the Japanese words, but that's what I went with. Of course, I gave her the most Mary Sue background possible. I mean, can you blame me? I was like 11. She was the Saiyan from the Saiyan homeworld who had somehow managed to live when the, spoilers, planet blew up. In the backstory, she was friends with Prince Vegeta before the planet blew up. Mary Sue, I know. She was also his love interest because who's Bulma even anyway? And of course I had a thing for Vegeta. My type was bad boys, obviously. The second anime I got hardcore into was called Fairy Tail. Most people have heard of this anime or seen it. It was pretty popular back when it first started airing on Netflix. I loved it so much the second I saw it was literally about wizards and magic. I loved fantasy stories, so it was the perfect anime for 13-year-old me. If you don't know about it, basically it follows the story of the two main characters, Natsu and Lucy, and their crazy, wacky, magical journeys with their guild, Fairy Tail. I shipped them so hard. I always drew fan art of them together because I wanted them to end up together. Truth be told, I fell out of the anime when I was 15 and stopped keeping up with it, so I don't really know if they ended up together or not. I think the series is still going. This might trigger some people, but as I was watching it and reading the manga, I felt like it was being stretched out, so I stopped caring about it. I didn't feel like reading 30 filler chapters to get to the one chapter that actually had something important happen. I hate it when any sort of show, anime, manga, or cartoon does that with the story. We all know it can be resolved in one episode. Why are you delaying it? Just for the money. It seems stupid to me, but I get that some people like that stuff because it gives you more time with the characters or whatever, but personally, I can't get behind animes or mangas that are stretched out. Okay, this is probably gonna lead to some people unsubbing for me, but another example of an anime I think that went on way too long is Naruto. Now, of course, this is coming from a biased opinion since I've never watched the show, so I could be 100% wrong about this, but I know there are an odd something 500 episodes of the anime alone, and that's a lot. Personally, I don't want to have to sit through 500 episodes. It's daunting to a new viewer. If you grew up watching it on TV, I get it, but personally, I can't invest in an anime that would take a year to get through. That's just me though, to each their own. The third anime I got hardcore into was Ouran High School Host Club. This is an anime I still love to this day. I don't know what it is about it, but I think it's great, and it never fails to make me happy and also cry. It's a really great anime that's on Netflix. I don't want to spoil anything, but I think if you're interested in love story animes and kinda sorta harems, it's definitely for you. It's got the full cast of lovable dorky characters and a relatable, not super feminine main character. Definitely something everyone should check out. I know there was more in between Ouran and this next anime, but this next anime was a big one for me. Attack on Titan was hands down my favorite anime from 2014 to 2015. So much in fact that I wrote a 70-chapter fanfiction on Wattpad that has 640,000 views. My terrible, cringy legacy. I legitimately plan on doing a dramatic reading of a couple chapters with my friends for a 1 million sub special if I ever get there. If you do get the pleasure of hearing me read my cringy writing from 2014, I'm so sorry. The fanfiction was trash. Absolute trash. But I thought it was the greatest thing I'd ever written. And so did a bunch of other young kids, obviously, but going back and rereading it, I realized just how trash it truly was. It basically followed the story of my Mary Sue OC Ayla and her love story with Levi. Of course, another short, edgy boy. I don't want to give too much away because I actually want to read it for you guys for that special someday, but it was bad. Real bad. And get this, I wrote a sequel. A sequel! I don't know why I did. I'm pretty sure I deleted it out of shame because the sequel was somehow worse, even though it was written a year after the first one. I'm not going to read that one anywhere, probably, so I'll give you guys the gist. Basically, it followed the story of Felix, my male OC, surprise, surprise, Ayla and Levi's son. But spoilers, Ayla dies. So I made him a half ghost baby thing. It follows alongside this dumbass anime logic. Somehow a dead baby ghost goes into the body of a dying boy and takes over his body, and boom, alive. It's bad. It was bad. Real bad. As far as my memory serves me, this was the last anime I got into before falling off anime entirely. I've never hated anime despite past videos of me saying I wasn't the biggest fan. I was at one point. That's why my art style is so heavily anime influenced. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of anime art style, but that's just what my art style has become, so I've worked with it, slowly developing into my own throughout the years. But I'll save the art style talk for another video. Thanks for watching. Also, okay, I hate being that guy, but I do have a Patreon. I'm currently in the process of moving out of my family home into my own apartment. If you guys have some extra coin to help a girl out, it would be greatly appreciated. Or just snag yourself some merch. Links in the description. See you in the next one.